Hey, what is going on, guys? We are in another game of set 6.5. This game is going to be a little different. I'm going to be trying out the new Chemtech because they've been adding a lot of new units. We no longer have Urgot, believe it or not, which means that we need to find out who the new carry is for the Chemtech build. So I get a bunch of options here. We get either Chemtech, Hextech, or I believe it was Sunfire board. I already played Hextech in the last game, so let's go ahead and try out the Chemtech crest. Again, I want to find out who the new carry is because it's clearly not going to be Urgot anymore. The new units that they added are Tryndamere and Renata. Renata's a champion that's not yet released in League of Legends, which I found was pretty neat because how many times are they going to do that, you know? So we have the Chemtech crest, not really sure who to put it on. Just a note, guys, like Hextech probably is the best trait in the starting game because it just gives a big shield to your whole team, and it's pretty much like building Locket. We all know Locket's really good at the early game, so Hextech as a trait probably going to be pretty decent there. But, you know, I want to try some Chemtech. Don't want to play Hextech every single game. But we get a couple of dudes here. Pair of Warwicks are pretty decent. Let's go ahead and level up, put in the Nocturne. For some reason, guys, I forgot that Chemtech is a 3 and 5 trait. I thought it was a 2-4 trait for some random reason because a lot of traits are like that. I'm going to go ahead and slam the Morello. I honestly thought Lissandra was still in the set because it's just instinct to build Morello whenever you play for Chemtechs. But luckily, Renata, which is also a Scholar, I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl, but Renata also has a great effect for Morello because it's kind of like an AoE effect, which we'll check out later. But yeah, pretty much in the early game, so far I found you wanted to play Hextech, but you know, things will change as the game develops. So we get a Singe 2 here, which is nice. Nothing too much else to do. They did remove Mundo and I believe Urgot. Other than that, I think there are no other changes to Chemtech. So now we're on to stage 2-3. We get like a really ridiculous start. We get a free Warwick 2 and a Camille 2. Tryndamere is a challenger, so you no longer need stuff like Twin Shot. You want to focus on challengers instead, which I find is really good because in Chemtech, there wasn't much of an incentive to go deep into the Chemtech trait because the attack speed, while it's decent on Urgot, it's not super good on him, you know? Obviously, it is a great stat, but like attack damage is more of what Urgot wants. So, since Tryndamere is a challenger and a Chemtech, he's going to be using a lot of attack speed now, so it feels like it's much more relevant for that type of champion. He is a 3 cost, and he is very similar to the old Tryndamere, which was, I believe, in set 4 or 4.5, he was like a warlord. And to justify the change between 4 costs and 3 costs, his numbers have been reduced, but it's essentially the same ability. I'm going to go ahead and sell up to 10 gold here. We're going to see what's on the carousel. I definitely want like the crit or the bow here. So we end up getting a crit on Tryndamere, which obviously is exactly what we want. We get to do 5 Chemtech because of that. So I'm going to go ahead and level up so I could fit in 5 Chemtech here. 3 challenger is a little awkward, but what can you do? We also probably want to drop the item on the Twitch onto the Tryndamere, but we'll do that when we get there. This guy is running, it looks like he's going like a striker. No, he's kind of running all sorts of stuff. I can't really tell what this person's running. I guess he has Chemtech overload, so he does want to do Chemtech as well. Makes it a little awkward, but whatever. Okay, we get 2 more Warwicks. Here I was thinking like maybe I should just do a reroll Warwick build. I'm not really too sure, but I feel like Tryndamere would be more fun at the start. We ended up winning the other round. We get a sword on this carousel, not this carousel, this creep round. So I think I'm going to build, I was thinking either Deathblade or Infinity Edge. Both of them probably work really well on Tryndamere. The thing is, I really wanted a Last Whisper, so maybe it's Deathblade, maybe it's IE, maybe I'm going to get both anyways. Not really too sure. Do you want a Bloodthirster on Tryndamere? Do you want a Guardian Angel on Tryndamere? I guess they removed Guardian Angel. The new item is called Edge of Night. It gives a bunch of attack speed and attack damage, and like kind of a smoke bomb effect if you guys are familiar with that augment. So overall, I think it's like pretty much the same thing as a Guardian Angel, just in a different way, so you don't get the big cast off like how it normally is. But I think I'm going to build the Deathblade because I remember Last Whisper being so important for Tryndamere before that I feel it's pretty important to build, you know? But he spins to the back. We get to snipe off the Malzahar here, so it does reintroduce like that backline axis that he used to have in the past. I think it's pretty decent. It kind of keeps people honest. We could sell the Warwicks here, but since it is a for fun game, I kind of wanted to maybe try to get 3-star Warwick and Tryndamere, so I ended up keeping the Warwick on my bench, even though it lost me a gold. So we do level up. This guy, Is he also doing a Tryndamere build? Is everyone doing a Tryndamere build with Chemtechs? I'm not really too sure, but this guy's got the IE Twitch. Yeah, the spinning slash. I want to compare the numbers on how much stronger or weaker it is than the old Tryndamere, because it would be just interesting to note. But we are able to kill this guy. You also have to keep in mind, we do have augments in the game, so you do get a power spike from that as well. So the stats are a little different from before. So they added a new augment, back foot. So your units start combat in the back 2 rows, gain 20% attack speed. On guard, obviously, if you're going challengers, it's probably the one you want to take. So I'm feeling on guard here, even though like I do want to try out the new augment. It doesn't really help my comp right now, and on guard when I'm going for a challenger build, it's probably still going to be really good, you know? So we get another Warwick, which is kind of funny. But overall, I think we're in a decent spot. As long as we hit the Tryndamere 2-star relatively early, and then maybe we could start a slow roll at around level 7, or maybe even level 8. We'll probably be in like a perfectly fine position there. But as you guys can see, Tryndamere at 1-star, he's spinning through everyone, dealing like pretty decent damage, at least in my opinion. Oh, Archangels and Praise. Upon casting an ability, your units gain ability power equal to 30% of their max mana. Interesting augment, interesting augment. It's like the old Archangel staff, I believe. So we're last pick. Not really many options here. I just took the Spatula just because it probably would be more fun to take it. QSS would not have been bad if I took a Necrotron Cloak, but I feel, or like a Bloodthirster, but I feel like I do need that glove for a Last Whisper for the Tryndamere right now. We're facing a guy doing Brand Reroll. Brand Reroll is pretty popular. I'd say it's pretty decent. You need a blue buff, obviously, because he casts a lot, and he gets a double cast if you get the... People are calling it like Chosen Brand, but it's essentially like the VIP trait from Debonair, which essentially allows him to cast twice, which is obviously very welcome because he does a lot of bonus damage on his second cast. So now on to the next shop. We get a Zac here, but nothing really else too much there. Alright, so this guy, no clue what he's doing. He's got Silco though, and Jinx, which I thought was pretty cool. They don't have any synergies together, unfortunately. I thought that was like a missed opportunity to do that. I also noticed that Lucian and Senna also don't have a shared synergy, so I guess they're trying to break away from the traditional ties a little bit. I really thought Silco would have something with Jinx, though. I feel like that would have been a great addition to the game. Not really sure how they would have done it, but maybe just adding an extra trait. Maybe they're afraid that Stand United would be too good from that or something, but I don't really know. Also, Silco is not a Chemtech, which is... I mean, that's pretty shocking as well, right? So we get a glove and an item remover. Yeah, okay, I remember this now. I think I went ahead and built an Assassin Spatula on Tryndamere. Assassin Spatula is essentially like an Infinity Edge, right? Because it gives him a bunch of crit and crit damage. Obviously probably not as good, but what else am I going to do with all these items? I dropped the Twitch in to get the Assassin buff back, and then yeah, I think I just dropped the Assassin Spat on this Tryndamere. Again, probably want the Last Whisper IE, but what can you do? Or maybe even a Bloodthirster. I'm pretty sure Bloodthirster is actually going to be really good if you do not get healing from the augment traits. Because, okay, this guy's going Draven. We're going to see the new Edge of Night. Tryndamere spinned away from him. Is it spinned or span? It's probably spinned. And oh no, his Darius, okay, did not get a big heal off. That was actually a little scary. But we're able to clean this guy up. I'm liking the Tryndamere so far. Obviously, we have a bunch of 2-stars, which have been helping as well. But feels pretty good. Like, look at his damage. He's top DPS despite being a 1-star. He does have 2 items, and we are like giving him all our traits, but I feel like that's not a bad trade-off. So I'm gonna go ahead and level up here. I'm gonna drop in this Orianna probably. I just want like, should I have slow rolled on level 7? Probably, but I only have 1 copy on Tryndamere, so I probably am not going to hit him during a slow roll. That's why I wanted to go level 8, maybe get Renata or Victor to try to like really round out the Chemtech build, or add in more challengers just to see how that happens. This guy's going Mutant Malzahar. Pretty good items. It's like really strong. I think this guy actually does end up beating me because 1-star Tryndamere just can't blow up the 2-star tanks fast enough, I guess. I feel like I would have won with 2-star Tryndamere here, but you know, it is what it is. On to the next shop. We somehow get Orianna 2 before we get Tryndamere 2. I'm going to drop in this Draven. We have not seen many Warwicks. I kind of forgot I was rerolling him, so the Warwick was huge waste of gold. But you know, like, we're just trying to have fun here on the PvE. We're not really trying to sweat our butts off. It's mainly just about like trying new things. This guy's got a Blitzcrank in the back. I saw a funny joke recently. You know how in Portable Forge, which is one of the augments which gives you an Ornn item, there's one thing, there's one item which is like a hook, which is very similar to Blitzcranks. I forgot what the item is called, but when Portable Forge was a prismatic augment, I heard the joke of like, oh, Blitzcrank is as strong as a prismatic augment. They nerfed it down to a gold augment, but I just thought it was pretty funny. So we want the bow here on the Leona, just because we want Last Whisper. Let us see if we are able to get it. Okay, this guy wanted Jinx, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the bow here. Okay, so yeah, just slam that right away, drop it on Tryndamere. Again, like, you really want a 2-star, but what can you do? Ahri's very cool this set. I really want to try an Ahri game, like when PvE comes out. Oh no, the Zyra stunned our Tryndamere. Orianna still did a lot of work, but man, I really need this 2-star 3 cost because, as it turns out, 4 cost units are better than 3 cost units if they're at the same power level. But and this fight was so close yet so far. That's like one Tryndamere spin away from just like cleaning up the entire fight. So this one, Cybernetic Uplink is a pretty cool concept, but obviously it's Knife's Edge because we need attack damage for our dudes. We do get another Tryndamere there. I wonder how much I should roll at this point. Probably wait till next stage. It is a little awkward because we're at like 6 Chemtech right now. Oh, this is the Brand guy we were talking about before. Like, just watch Brand. He's gonna get a double cast off, and then just kind of like, my team disappears. I don't know. It feels pretty strong to me. I'm not sure if he is the only viable 1-cost reroll. I'm sure there are others. I'm sure you could still do Twitch. But I think out of the new champs, he might be the most interesting one, to say the least. Let's roll a little bit, because we're above 50 gold. We didn't hit anything there. And we get a bunch of ability power items from the camp, which is obviously not what we want, because we're kind of an attack damage comp. I'm gonna go ahead and put in Renata for 7 Chemtech. You know, you gotta test out the verticals. Maybe they are good, maybe they are bad, but if you don't try, you'll never know. There's a Warwick. There's also a Victor. Unfortunately, I don't really have items for the Warwick. I guess I could have slapped a Rage Blade on him or something. Okay, there's Tryndamere 2 finally. A little late. It's stage 5-1 for a 2-cost carry, so a little awkward there. I built a hat for some reason. Don't ask me why. I really should have built a... what's it called? Morellonomicon on Renata. Don't ask me why I did not do that. I think I just panicked on the items. We got smashed here. There's a Bramble Brahmin in the front, so yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to kill. There's another Tryndamere. I think it is... probably want to roll down... oh, my bad. We already had a Morello. That's why I didn't build it. Even when you do VOD reviews, sometimes you miss stuff. I forgot to buy Victor, though. Oh, I need Victor. Whoops. Let's roll down a little bit. No Tryndameres. No Warwicks. I do get a lot of Dravens. Unfortunately, like, Draven isn't that great for me. But I was thinking I have an item remover, so I could always remove the items from someone else. And I was thinking maybe doing a Chemtech Assassin Draven just for the hell of it. But did not come to fruition yet, because we just have 2 random Dravens in the front. I feel like Assassin Draven might actually be a decent tech, because he jumps to the back, which means he no longer needs to move around a lot, so he'll be able to catch every axe. You know how in set 5, I believe it was, when Draven was pretty meta? People were frontlining Draven a lot, and the reason why they did that was so he didn't have to catch his axes. It will be interesting to see, because we don't have items like Guardian Angel anymore. We'll have to see if the Edge of Night is enough for Draven to kind of really utilize that. But I'm going to put the Chemtech on him now. I'm going to drop in the 7 Chemtech back in. Ideally 1 Victor over Singe, but what can you do? What can you do? Not having Mundo really does make the front line of Chemtechs a lot weaker, because Chemtechs obviously wanted a lot of health because you heal based on your max health, I believe. And since they removed that, it's pretty hard. Wow, that Kha'Zix completely destroyed my Tryndamere, which kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean, this game was a little weird. We did not hit the 3 stars we wanted. We didn't even hit the 2 stars we wanted till really late, so we did get a top 5 so far though, so I guess it could be worse. So on this carousel, it's either Giant Slayer or Challenger Spat. The thing is, I don't really have a person to Challenger, but maybe I just take it anyways. Yeah, I probably want items on my Warwick because he's about to be 3-star. You could say the same for Draven. Maybe I want this item on Draven. I feel, oh my god, it went on my Quinn. I completely forgot that she had, or we had 2 copies of her, and then I skipped over a Quinn. We did get the Warwick though. I'll drop the Giant Slayer on him, and we do need one more Challenger. Not able to get it there. Whenever you play a new set, you're bound to make like 50 billion stupid mistakes. It's just part of the nature of the game because everything's really new, and yeah, you just sell units that you randomly would never sell, or ordinarily would never sell. Uh-oh, 3-star Vex. She's a Debonair now too with the Debonair Spat. And then this, dude, it's just this, dude, my Tryndamere died instantly. Holy cow, Syndra killed my Tryndamere. That is... that is a little rough, but we take big damage there. And yeah, I think we get 4th because if I remember correctly, like, you know how there's a delayed damage where like the damage just hits you really late? Yeah, so we end up getting 4th there. Pretty interesting game though. My thoughts are Urgot is much more reliable than Tryndamere because 4-cost units are obviously just going to be more reliable, but I wonder how good 3-star Tryndamere is. If it's bad, I'm sure they will buff it because that is going to be the primary carry of this composition. I could see maybe a Warwick reroll come in. Twitch reroll could be a thing too. But Renata, you really need to build more around the Scholar trait. She is a, I think it's a she. It's a Scholar and Chemtech, so the attack speed from Chemtech doesn't really help Renata that much. Think of it like a Lissandra. Like, you just played Lissandra because she's a good Chemtech unit, but she doesn't make great use of the trait. She's like a support unit. By the way, this Ahri is slapping really hard. But that's my thoughts on Chemtech so far. The one right now on live is definitely much more consistent than what we have in the next set. Again, it's just because TFT is mostly geared towards 4-cost carries, which I think is fine, but it just shows that it's going to be a little different next set once we play Chemtechs. But that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, let's wait to try it out on PvE. There's probably like 50 billion other builds that we could try with Chemtech or with Challenger. Maybe we could do like 8 Challenger Tryndamere. Maybe that's better than Chemtech's. Not really too sure, but we'll find out. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe. And of course, smash that like button. Each like is an LP I gain before the next video.